red flag number 1 is yung gaslighting and invalidation. Yung nabanggit mo na pag may sinabi kang problem na ang arte-arte mo, OA ka, ganun. Grabe, nasistress ako sa work, ganyan. Tapos, imbis na you're expecting na i-comfort ka, ang isasagot sa'yo, ako nga, mas grabe pa yung pinagdaanan ko eh. Wala yan sa ano mo. Naku, mas mahirap yung ginawa ko sa work kanina. Yung boss ko, ganyan-ganyan. See, diba? That's not support. That's emotional competition. Yung parang na-stress ka today, mas stress siya. So, mas panalo siya.
Parang wala kang karapatang mas stress.
Oo. Yung stress mo, maliit lang.
Buti ka nga, nasa bahay ka lang, nag-aalaga ka lang ng bata eh. Ako nagtatrabaho, ganyan. Nako, wag na wag ganun.
Oo. This is for all the men na hindi nyo kailangan solusyonan lahat ng problema namin right on the spot. We just want someone to emotionally support us. Hindi kami nag-e-expect na solve nyo agad. Minsan gusto lang talaga natin na Ihinga, yung parang, Hello mga kakuda! Welcome sa Madami Akong Kuda Season 2! Kung saan lahat ng bawal pag-usapan ay lalo nating pag-uusapan! I'm Cheryl, mom, entrepreneur, and a certified overthinker.
And I'm Soraya, Cheryl's new co-host and kakuda. I'm a business psychology and shadow work coach and minsan human emotional support ng mga pagod na maging girl boss kagaya nitong si Cheryl. At
Kami ang magkaibigan, madaming opinyon kahit di tinatanong.
Hi mga kakuda! Welcome back to Madami Akong Kuda, the podcast where we unpack the silent struggles of Filipino entrepreneurs and women who are done being quiet.
So today's episode, mapapatanong ka, ikaw ba o siya ang may problema? We will talk about how to deal with toxic partners without losing yourself.
Aray, parang ang bigat agad, girl.
Sorry.
So, speaking of toxic partners, paano mo nga ba masasabi kung toxic ang jowa mo? Or baka ikaw lang talaga yung praning?
Yung kahit pagod ka na, feeling mo ikaw pa rin yung may kasalanan. Pag may away, ikaw yung lagi nag-a-adjust, ikaw yung nagsosorry. Tapos kahit siya yung may mali, ikaw pa rin yung nagsosorry para lang matigil na yung away.
Nako, kaya today, kung natatamaan na kayo doon, tutulungan namin kayo i-spot yung red flags, i-validate ang nararamdaman nyo, and most importantly, break the silence. So in this podcast, there's no shame, just real talk.
So let's define it first. Ano nga ba ang ibig sabihin ng toxic or abusive partner? Hindi ibig sabihin na hindi ka sinasaktan physically, hindi ka na na-abuse.
Correct. Actually, yan ang misconception ng mga women. Akala nila ang abuse is something physical lang, like pinagbubuhatan ka ng kamay or pag nag-cheat yung asawa mo. Pero ako, I learned na from being a relationship coach as well as yung talking with lawyers, ganyan, na abuse can also be emotional pala. So, ang different kinds of abuse are emotional, verbal, financial, even sexual, kahit sa mag-asawa. And minsan, hindi mo to napapansin kasi natatago siya as care or nagpe-pretend as care.
So, ibig sabihin pala kahit mag-asawa, pwede pa rin na-abuse yung...
Yes, basta walang consent. So, yung question mo kanina, how do you tell if it's just a toxic partner or an abusive one? So, I know medyo mabigat to. Kung nabibigatan kayo, hinga-hinga lang ha. Just inhale and exhale. So, ngayon, i-discuss ko ano yung difference ng toxic and abusive. Kasi minsan, baka sabihin nyo, oo, baka toxic lang yung partner ko, yung pala abusive na. Okay? So, ang toxic partner, it just shows sa poor communication, emotional immaturity, or unresolved trauma ng partner. And it's not always the partner's intention to harm or to hurt. And take note ha, pwede to in both ways. Pwedeng lalaki, pwedeng yung babae. So, hindi lang to puro lalaki lang yung toxic or abusive ha. And yung pagiging toxic partner, it's unhealthy, yes. But again, since it's not intentional, may chance pa and may room for growth. Meaning, if the partner takes accountability na, yes, I want to change, and if both people are willing to change and compromise, may chance pang maayos yung relationship. Now, on the other hand, yung abusive partner, iba na to. Because an abusive partner, ito, trigger warning ha. Trigger warning guys. Yung sa mga natitrigger again, hingang malalim, inhale and exhale. Yung abusive partner, di ba yung toxic, wala siyang intention to harm. Lumalabas lang yung mga unresolved trauma niya, emotional issues. An abusive partner may intent na to manipulate, control, and may power dynamics nang nagaganap. Parang ako yung may power dito, ako yung may control. And it's intentional and chronic. What does chronic mean? Hindi siya tumitigil. And palagi siya, chronic. And it's designed to make you doubt yourself, fear the abuser, or feel trapped. So, hingang malalim. So, ngayon, i-discuss ko ano yung nagfo-fall under emotional and psychological abuse. Number 1, constant criticism, belittling or name-calling. Ito yung mga, ang bobo mo talaga, wala kang kwenta. Mga sarcastic insults disguised as jokes. Kahit joke yan, kung nasaktan ka or na maliit ka, it is considered na psychological abuse. Gaslighting, ito yung pinaka-common. Yung kapag may naalala ka na ginawa niya, tapos ang response niya, uy, wala akong sinabing ganyan, or ang drama mo naman, di naman ganun yung nangyari.
Parang ni-invalidate yung partner.
Actually, more than invalidating, it's making you appear na hindi totoo yung experience mo. Or you're making up things, or you're going crazy. Yung iba, ganun pa nga. Parang delulu ka lang, ganun.
Delulu pala.
Ito rin, isolation. It's another form of emotional or psychological abuse. Isolation meaning nilalayo ka sa family mo, forbidding you to see friends. And getting upset when you talk to others. Or creating conflict every time you make plans with loved ones. Threats, intimidations, or guilt tripping, such as, pag iniwan mo ko, wala kang mapupuntahan. Or lahat ginawa ko sa'yo, para sa'yo, tas ganyan ka. Or worse, pag iniwan mo ko, tingnan mo lang, may gagawin ako sa sarili ko. So may mga ganon, yung parang very emotional hostage or blackmailing yung ginagawa. That's also abuse, okay? Passive-aggressive behavior. So ang abuse is hindi lang yung pag may ginawa. Minsan something na even silence that punishes you emotionally, like silent treatment for days, sudden withdrawal of affection, or weaponizing your vulnerability. So, kunyari, minsan may kilala ako, nag-hunger strike yung lalaki ng 3 araw. Hindi lumabas ng kwarto, hindi kumain, dahil nag-away sila nung babae. Tapos yung mga bata nakikita din, parang affected lahat. Tapos yung babae nagigilty, ganun. So yun, it's a form of abuse. And lastly, using silence or withdrawal to control or destabilize you, like making you feel crazy for asking what's wrong, refusing to communicate until you apologize even if you didn't do anything. Yun nga, yung parang palagi niyang ginagawang weapon yung silence niya para mag-guilty ka. Para ikaw na yung mag-sorry, ganun. So remember lang, hindi lang physical ang abuse. Emotional wounds are just as real. And they take longer to heal kasi nga invisible sila and sometimes we are in denial. Parang, hindi, baka nakikare lang siya or baka may pinagdadaanan lang. Tapos, dahil kaka-invalidate ng partner, napapa-question ka kung valid nga ba talaga yung nafe-feel mo. 'Di ba? So, ikaw ba, Cheryl, ano yung mga alam mo na red flag based sa mga kwento ng mga friends mo, ganun?
Actually, now na nabanggit mo lahat yon, like, wow, na-enumerate mo yung mga bagay na yon. Red flag number 1 is yung gaslighting and invalidation. Yun, nabanggit mo na pag may sinabi kang problem na ang arte-arte mo, OA ka, ganun. Or, meron akong mga kilala na mas malala yung na-experience, like, kunwari, as a couple, nag-open ka ng problem sa husband or partner mo. Sabi mo, grabe, nasistress ako sa work, ganyan. Tapos, imbis na you're expecting na i-comfort ka, ang isasagot sa'yo, ako nga, mas grabe pa yung pinagdaanan ko eh. Wala yan sa ano mo. Naku, mas mahirap yung ginawa ko sa work kanina. Yung boss ko, ganyan-ganyan. See, diba? That's not support. That's emotional competition. Yung parang, na-stress ka today, mas stress siya. So, mas panalo siya.
Parang wala kang karapatang mas stress.
Oo. Yung stress mo, maliit lang. Actually, I have a friend na nag-open up sa akin na minsan parang in the surface, makikita mo parang normal lang yun na baka naman may problema lang din yung partner mo. Pero hindi eh. As partners, dapat magsuportahan kayo emotionally, not just financially or anything. Basta maramdaman mo yung support.
Tsaka hindi mo dapat minimize or in-invalidate yung pagod ng partner mo dahil lang mas napagod ka. Kasi minsan tayo, lalo na tayo mga babae, minsan gusto lang natin yung hindi naman may gagawin ka for us. Pero gusto namin yung kinakamusta lang kami. Parang 'di ba? Oh, what happened? What happened, Vel?
What happened?
What happened, Bella?
Sorry.
I know. Vampire, right?
'Di ba? Yun nga yung parang para sa mga for us women, and this is for all the men, na hindi nyo kailangan solusyonan lahat ng problema namin right on the spot. We just want someone to emotionally support us. Hindi kami nag-e-expect na solve nyo agad. Na for example, may problema ka sa work. hindi namin ina-expect na maglatag na kayo ng solution or gumawa kayo ng tangible solution for us. Minsan gusto lang talaga natin na
Ihinga,
yung parang sa friendship, kaya ka may friends para mapaglabasan mo ng sama ng loob. Parang ganon.
Tsaka parang you want a safe space where you can just, remove the mask, wag muna magpaka-strong kahit saglit lang. Na yung hihingi ka lang ng konting comfort, kahit nga hindi na comfort, yung i-hug ka lang, ganon. Sige, okay lang yan, pahinga lang tayo, ganon, okay na yon. Pero wag nyo lang i-invalidate yung partner nyo na, ay buti ka nga, nasa bahay ka lang, nag-aalaga ka lang ng bata eh. Ako nagtatrabaho, ganyan. Nako, wag na wag ganon.
Oo.
Away yan.
Oo. Actually, nangyari yan sa akin nung early years ng marriage namin na work from home ako. Tapos, may times na ina-expect ng husband ko na pag uwi niya dapat malinis na lahat. Tapos breastfeeding pa ako, 2 bata, nag-work pa ako. So, nagiging siya sa amin, nagiging problem siya noon na nag-clash kami na, akala mo ba wala akong ginagawa dito? Na nasa bahay lang ako? Oo, nasa bahay ako nag-work, pero ako din ang nag-aalaga sa mga bata. Ako nagmi-make sure na may maayos sila, safe sila. Kaya minsan, nalilimutan ko na gawin yung mga gawaing bahay. Dati nga may joke ako, sabi ko, sana octopus na lang ako, 8 yung kamay ko. Oo, actually may group chat kami ng mga friends ko na octopus moms.
Oh.
Wini-wish namin lahat na, oh my God, sana 8 yung kamay natin. Kasi, buti na lang na-resolve namin yung issue na yun ng husband ko na, okay, naintindihan ko na. Parang, naintindihan din niya yung sitwasyon na, hindi porket physically nasa bahay ka, ini-imagine kasi nung ibang tao na pag nasa bahay, equals walang ginagawa. 'Di ba? It doesn't mean that way. So, ayun. So, another red flag na isa kong naisip, yung mga sobrang protective na parang disguise na parang inaalagaan ka na. For example, babe, lalabas kami ng friends ko, ganyan. Sabihin ng jowa mo, ay, hindi pwede kasi baka ma-aksidente ka o baka mapano ka. The abuse, they're disguising it as care.
Pero it's like control and manipulation.
Controlling you, not
isolating you from your friends.
Not to interact with other people, isolating you with friends, with people, with colleagues, ganyan, na hindi alam ng partner mo na may sarili ka ring identity. So, kailangan mo rin lumabas.
Before ka mag-number 3,
Ano yan?
from personal experience,
Oh, go.
ayoko yung friends mo kasi bad influence sila.
May ganon?
Yung natuto lang ako mag-makeup, ganun. Kasi hindi ako nagme-makeup before.
No, paano sabi sa'yo?
Ayun, parang ayoko yan na parang bad influence yan. Kasi parang naturuan daw akong mag-arte-arte, ganyan.
Wala ka ba sariling isip?
Ayun. So guys, toxic behavior yun. When you're trying to control your partner, kung gusto lang nila mag-ayos, and then you say negative things about that, that's really toxic behavior kasi nakakasakit yun. And then you're judging their friends and then you're trying to isolate them.
Yeah.
So yun. Ano yung number 3 mo?
Number 3, yung mahilig mang guilt trip.
Ay.
Yan. Ang dami kong kilala na ganito yung experience na, ginawa ko naman lahat para sa'yo Parang gusto nung partner mo, i-equate mo lagi yung ginagawa niya for you. Parang transaction na bumili ka ng something, may makukuha kang something. Parang ganon. Parang kaliwaan, kumbaga, na parang, ginawa ko naman lahat para sa'yo So, dapat, gawin mo rin lahat para sa akin.
Or, sinakripisyo ko yung, ito, pwede sa mga babae, no? Sinakripisyo ko yung, yung career ko para sa pamilyang to. Tas ganyan lang, yung mga ganon. Yung parang sumbatan ng kung ano yung give up.
Sumbatan?
Guilt trip. Oo, toxic behavior yon. So, pag nanggi-guilt trip ka, kasi there are ways naman you can talk around it, diba? So, basta nanggi-guilt trip ka, whether it's the woman or the man, that's toxic behavior. And let's not forget, ito naranasan ko rin to, ginagamit yung trauma mo laban sa'yo.
Paano?
Well, I can't really go into details because it's very sensitive, pero anytime that someone uses something from your past, a past wound, a past hurt, to say na, kaya ka ganyan kasi ganito ka nung past mo ganyan, or even sasabihin sa parents mo na, yung anak nyo kasi, ganyan-ganyan yung pinagdaanan kaya ganyan. So, nakaka-hurt talaga yun, na parang you were vulnerable with this person, with your trauma, with your wounds, and then they would use that against you. Actually, it's abusive behavior. Kasi parang you're poking at the wound na ang sakit na nga, diba? And then you're using it against her to belittle her or to invalidate her to other people. Or pwede rin yung hindi marunong humingi ng sorry. Or kung magsasorry, parang scripted lang, napipilitan
para
lang.
Matapos na.
And it's not like, sorry na ginawa ko yun. It's sorry that you feel that way. Sorry, ganyan ka.
Walang ownership sa ginawa.
Walang ownership, walang accountability, walang let's work through this, walang I see where I went wrong there, ganun. Which is mahirap naman talaga aminin. But kapag sobrang chronic nang hindi nagsasorry, mahirap din yung ganun. Parang walang pagbabagong magaganap. Sa culture natin kasi, controlling, kagaya ng sinabi mo, it's often seen as, hindi, maalaga lang siya. Maingat siya sa akin, ayaw niya akong palabasin, di ba? But actually, hindi. Sa akin nga kasi nun, pati mag-makeup, bawal ako eh. Kasi baka daw nagpa-flirt ako na ibang lalaki.
Grabe naman.
Hindi ba pwedeng gusto ko lang, I want to look good in the mirror? Kasi buong araw, 7 days a week, I'm at home, losyang na losyang itsura. Kasi I used to be a stay-at-home mom, homeschool, walang yaya. So parang every Sunday, that's my chance to feel beautiful. Pag nagme-makeup ako, going to church, ganyan-ganyan. So anytime you're controlled or pinipigilan ka to do something na hindi naman nakakasama sa'yo, diba? Hindi yun alaga. It's manipulation dressed as concern. And you have to really admit that to yourself and call it out to yourself. Kahit hindi mo ma-call out yung partner mo, wag mo siyang i-justify na concerned lang siya sa akin. You have to learn na, this is already toxic, this is already abuse. Hinga, mga kakuda.
Hinga.
It took me a while then to realize these things, and I'm glad na we have this information and awareness no at our age. Pero nung mga panahon ng mga parents natin, wala silang ganito. Kaya marami sa kanila nagtitiis, 'di ba?
So ang tanong ko ngayon, why don't we call it out agad, yung mga ganong behavior? Kasi nga, may hiya. Nakakahiya pag nalaman ng iba. Even worse is pag ginudge ka na, buti nga sa'yo.
'Di ba? Or kaya ka iniwan eh kasi ganyan ka o siguro masama ugali mo. Ito, naririnig ko to. Hindi ka marunong magtiis. Dapat babae ka, nagtitiis ka.
Dapat ba lagi magtiis?
Ayun na nga. And ang pride mo naman, 'di ba? Na parang pagtitiis is the norm.
Actually, to be honest and to be raw, this is what angers me. Na parang bakit babae lagi ang kailangan mag-adjust, magtiis. Lalo na pag may anak, na parang, lunukin mo na lang lahat, tiisin mo na lang lahat for the kids, for the family. So, yun yung hindi ko maintindihan eh. Bakit ganun?
Another reason bakit nagtitiis, bukod sa, like in my case, I saw my mom also do that. So, akala ko it's normal. Actually, yun yung pinayo nila sa akin nung kasal.
Na magtiis.
Magtiis. Yun nga ang ginawa ko, diba? Another reason is most women are financially dependent on their partners. And kasi nga, they have to stay at home and take care of their kids, diba? So, yun, kaya nagtitiis na lang. Wala silang choice eh. They have to really depend on their partner. Emotional blackmail. Kagayang sabi ko kanina, sige, pag umalis ka, may gagawin ako sa sarili ko or may gagawin ako sa mga bata, ganun. And sometimes pressure from family or religion. Yung mismong family mo nagsasabi sa'yo na, di, ayusin nyo na lang yan, kawawa yung mga bata.
Oh.
Tis-tis na lang, asawa mo pa rin yan.
So, bakit parang tayo lagi yung masama? Ba't parang babae lagi yung masama pag tayo na yung sugatan, yung nasaktan? Yung iba sasabihin pa, ang sama mong ina, iniwan mo yung pamilya mo. Pag dumating ka na sa point na ayaw mo na, iwan mo na, parang ganon, hindi mo na iniisip na magtiis daw, ganyan, baka may, or even worse, baka may lalaki ka na. Or diba? Baka may iba ka na.
Pag babae ang umalis.
Pag babae ang umalis, baka may lalaki ka na. Kaya ka umalis. As if a woman can't walk away from pain without being punished for it. Na parang, pag ayaw na ba natin ng pain at aalis na tayo, kailangan na may judgment or may parusa sa atin.
Totoo yan. From a shadow work coach perspective's view, ito yung collective shadow natin na may belief tayo na a woman's worth is dependent on the amount of pain she can endure. From birth, from childbirth, even yung emotional pain, in marriage, diba? Parang being a good wife or mother means sacrificing yourself until wala nang matira. Yun yung tingin ng mga tao na good wife yan. Kasi sinakripisyo niya lahat para sa mga anak niya. Good mother yan. But here's the truth. Choosing peace is not betrayal. Walking away is not failure. And protecting yourself is not abandonment. It's an act of courage for your future self and for your children. And your children will thank you for it.
Tama. Kasi pag lalaki yung umalis, sasabihin, siguro hindi niya nakaya, or siguro hindi siya inaasikaso mabuti ng asawa niya, or siguro nagsawa siya kasi losyang na yung asawa niya.
Pag nag-cheat yung lalaki, diba? Siguro kasi hindi na inaalagaan ng babae yung sarili niya, hindi siya inaalagaan.
So, kasalanan na naman po.
Kasalanan na naman natin.
Diba?
Walang compassion sa babae.
Daling mag-judge eh. Walang context, walang compassion. And for those na sinasabi, lalo na yung mga boomers na mahiling mag-advise na tiis-tiis lang yan, asawa mo pa rin yan, isipin mo yung mga bata, kawawa sila pag naghiwalay kayo. We need to talk about that lie.
Sige. So again, from a shadow work perspective, staying in an abusive or toxic relationship is a toxic environment for the sake of the kids. Sobrang toxic nun sa mga bata. It does more harm than good. Uulitin ko yun. Pag may narinig kayong nagsabing magstay ka, magtiis ka para sa mga bata, that's not true.
Yeah.
Hinga. Kasi an abusive environment, nararamdaman ng mga bata yan. Kahit di kayo nag-aaway in front of them, na-feel nila yung tension. So, by the way, when I keep talking about shadow work, it means yung mga nire-repress natin na emotion, yung mga limiting beliefs natin that make us react the way we do na hindi na healthy for us. Yun yung shadow work, guys, in case na malito kayo. So, just remember, para sa mga kababaihan, ito, malaking ano to sa akin din, learning lesson to sa akin. Children don't need perfect families. They need emotionally safe environments. So, hindi porket kompleto ay good family, happy family. Ang happy family is a safe family. Yung nakikita nila, their mom is safe, their mom is happy, their mom is thriving, may freedom, may love, 'di ba? Pero ang batang lumaki sa emotionally manipulated, controlled, and abused mother, nakaka-feel yan ng unsafety. And what's more, mapaperpetuate yan or mauulit nila yung cycle because they felt that was normal. So, kung ano yung hindi nila nakikita sa atin na pagmamahal, hindi nila kaya rin ibigay sa iba yun kasi nga hindi nila naranasan sa parents nila. And minsan, yung kahit di tayo nagsasalita, nafe-feel ng kids yung energy natin.
Yeah.
Yung fear, yung tension, the way you shrink or disappear kapag nandyan yung partner mo, nafe-feel nila lahat yan.
And guess what? Since nafe-feel ng mga bata yon, the kids that are with you, they grow up thinking na love means fear. Na parang, the only way to love is to be fearful of your partner. Na parang, kailangan magtiis lagi and be powerless while growing up, while being in a relationship, yung ganun.
And akala natin, pinoprotect natin yung kids by staying in a toxic, abusive relationship. But you could also be unknowingly passing on the same wounds that you swore you'd heal.
Yeah, so leaving doesn't mean destroying your family. Kasi minsan yung mga tao parang, when you leave the family, feeling nila, kaya ka aalis kasi may iba ka na. Or magre-rebuild ka na ng ibang family. No, it's rebuilding yourself. It's the first brave step. And yun, to break the cycle, to have safety and peace.
Kaya tama yung sinabi ni She, break the cycle. Mahirap siya, hindi siya madali. But unang-unang gagawin mo talaga is speak up, name the abuse, name the toxic behavior, and most importantly, choose yourself. So, maraming babae ang natutong magtiis at manahimik at mag-excuse, mag-justify ng abusive behavior because of unresolved wounds from the past. So, ito na yung sinasabi kong shadow work, yung mga unresolved wounds and repressed emotions. So, minsan, may tinatawag tayong shadow archetypes. Yung isa dun is the wounded inner child, okay? So, sometimes, natututo tayong magtiis and to let things slide because the wounded inner child in us never felt safe to express our needs as we grew up. Kasi, maybe, lumaki tayo na kailangan good girl ka, kailangan mataas ang grades mo, kailangan wag kang magagalit, kailangan tahimik ka lang, kailangan mag-sacrifice ka para sa mga kapatid mo. So habang lumalaki, na-adopt natin yun sa relationship natin. Ganun din ginagawa natin.
Parang napoprogram ka.
Yes. Parang nangyayari yung wounded child natin yung nagre-respond habang asawa tayo or magulang tayo. Minsan it's also the prostitute shadow. So the prostitute shadow is a part of us that trades our power or truth or boundaries in exchange for perceived security, approval, or love. What does that mean? Tinitrade natin yung yung boundaries natin, tinitrade natin yung, kunyari, ayoko nito, pero sasabihin mo, sige, okay lang, kasi you want security, you want approval, you want validation. So kahit nasasaktan ka na, you stay. Kasi unconsciously, you think you need to earn love and buy safety with our silence. Kasi nga, lumaki ka na walang nagmamahal sa'yo, so kailangan tahimik lang din ako dito para mahalin ako, ganun. And it's a deep wound. Pero yun nga, with the work that I do as a shadow work coach, nahi-heal siya. It starts talaga with the self, like recognizing these shadows that we have, and then, yun nga, may process na ginagawa dyan to heal it. Di siya agad-agad, pero gradually, you get your power back. You're able to reclaim your power, your identity, and then you're able to make decisions not out of fear, but out of love for yourself, diba, respect for yourself.
So how can we tell if it's time to speak up or walk away?
Yan ang mahirap na tanong. And I'm sure ito yung mga hindi talaga pinag-uusapan. Kasi when you say walk away, it's like, I don't want to be the one throwing dynamite into the relationship and breaking the house or exploding the house, diba? Kasi when a woman walks away, siya yung sinisisi na she ruined the family. And ito lang ha, I had an intimate partner violence coach. So may ganun ha.
Wow.
Intimate partner violence coach, IPV coach. So she helps women in abusive relationships or narcissistic relationships. Sabi niya, the body knows before the brain does. So ibig sabihin, you have to check in with how your body feels. Kasi your brain is already controlled by your wounded child. Sasabihin, hindi, you stay small, you stay silent. But your body, it's a different thing. It has its own intelligence. So when you feel you're constantly anxious, or parang natatakot ka, or like you're walking on eggshells pag andyan yung partner mo, sign na yon na you're being manipulated or it's a toxic relationship or worse, abusive.
Wow, yung body natin ha, ganun pala katalino na parang may sarili siyang
may sarili siyang intelligence because it also wants to protect you. And if you feel like you have to edit your words or shrink or play small just to keep the peace, that's toxic and abusive relationship.
So, are there apologies just words with no behavior change?
Well, sabi ng therapist ko, if it's like a narcissistic disorder, hindi talaga sila nagbabago. And I'm not one to diagnose narcissism. There's a lot of content online about that. I'm not one to judge quickly kung narcissist ang tao. But it's rare that they change. So, ang pag-uusapan natin ngayon, ikaw, anong pwede mong gawin? When you're sige, na-identify ko na, parang shocks na-trigger ako sa mga sinabi nila Saraya at Cheryl.
Oh.
Anong gagawin ko? Yun na yung pinaka-importante. So, if you're starting to feel na you're rationalizing their behavior or doubting your sanity or parang yun nga, you're feeling anxious, pag paulit-ulit na siya, ito yung una mong gagawin. Mag-journal ka ng mga nararamdaman mo. Because yun yung way mo para ma-validate yung sarili mo.
Kung paulit-ulit na yung nararamdaman mo na parang may parte sa sarili mo na gusto mong sumikaw or gusto mong umalis. Kasi I remember, I have this friend na hindi niya pa ma-identify na abusive yung partner niya. Pero every time her partner calls her, like sa phone, nakikita niya pa lang yung kunyari, babe, ganyan, nakita pa lang niya yung number ng asawa niya, nanginginig na yung kamay niya.
Shucks.
So, it's her body telling her na parang may something na gusto niyang may hinihingi yung katawan niya. So, yun yung parang sinasabi mo kanina na parang yung body natin may sariling intelligence na kusa siyang may nararamdaman, may physical manifestation, may reaction.
Tama. Kahit na sabihin mo anong justify mo, hindi, mamahal ko to eh. Pero pag may fear na, hindi na love eh. Fear and love cannot exist in the same heart. So, yung question kanina ni She, how will you know if you just need to speak up or walk away? So, ito yung mga questions that you need to ask before you speak up. Okay? Hindi all the time kailangan speak up ka kaagad. Tatanungin mo muna sarili mo, will I be emotionally or physically safe if I speak up? Because if your partner is physically abusive, ay speak up, baka saktan ka, baka saktan yung kid. So, think muna, if you speak up, will you be safe? Have you tried communicating your needs already but have been ignored? Mocked, meaning inaasar ka pa or punished for it or minamaliit yung feelings mo kahit kinommunicate mo na? Am I constantly breaking myself just to keep this relationship whole? So if the answer is yes to any or all of those, then wala nang love dun. That's not love. Manipulation is control. It's a toxic relationship. And girl, it's time to choose yourself. Not because you're selfish, but because you're finally ready to be safe and at peace.
Yeah, and start with emotional hygiene. Yung mga nararamdaman mo na parang panic attack, nanginginig yung kamay, hindi mo iniimbento yan eh. Hindi ka nag-iinarte. Hindi ka lang para magdrama. May nararamdaman ka na talaga. It means that your body or your brain is recognizing patterns na hindi mo mapa-explain sa ngayon. Kaya yun yung power natin eh, na as women, we can trust our gut and malalakas yung mga instinct natin. So, yun yung advantage natin sa sitwasyon na meron tayo. And that's your power coming back. Na parang, it starts with your gut and it starts when you trust your gut.
Kung hirap ka pa to trust your gut or takot ka or hindi ka sanay, talk to someone safe like a trauma-informed coach, a therapist, or a neutral third party. Hindi yung marites nyong kaibigan o kapamilya na ang advice lang ay tiisin mo na lang or patawarin mo kawawa mga bata, okay? Sometimes, your own family can be the first to invalidate you, not because they don't love you, but because they're uncomfortable with the truth. Kaya it's important that your first step toward healing is being heard by someone who won't minimize your pain, who will tell you na, oh, actually, that is a toxic behavior. Parang, ay, shucks, oo nga, no. Tapos, sa simula talaga magkakaroon ka ng shock na parang, paano ko natiis lahat yun? Or bakit ko pinalusot? Just allow yourself, if you're going through the grief of it, tas biglang magiging anger, normal yan. Kaya nga very important that you have someone to support you.
Ako naman, since I'm not a shadow work coach, I'm more on the practical side. Well, I'm lucky to have a good husband naman, pero what I can advise is to create an exit plan.
Magaling ka dyan. Laging may exit plan to eh.
As a Aquarius girly, advance ako lagi mag-isip at may exit plan ako. What do I mean by that? Start preparing financially and emotionally. If worse comes to worse, na parang wala na talaga, na final na, bago mo i-finalize yung nararamdaman mo, mag-draft ka na ng exit plan. If I may share, ako nga, may exit plan.
Ano exit plan mo?
Thank God naman, di naman siguro mangyayari, no? Pero yun, since we are also business partners, plus husband and wife, I started, asking advice sa lawyers, anong pwedeng gawin na plan if ever maghiwalay or may mangyaring hindi maganda. Wala pong kahoy dito, knock on wood. Yung parang if ever may hindi maganda mangyari sa partnership namin, I want to know what I will get out of that relationship. Kasi practical ako eh. Mukha akong pera, nanay ako, kailangan ko ng
Or
pera.
paano mo masisecure yung kids?
Paano masisecure yung kids, monthly expenses?
Yung pinaghirapan mo rin.
Yeah, it's funny, but I actually have an exit plan. Pero, yun nga, it helps being prepared. Lalo na kung financially, dependent sa husband mo or sa partner mo na may signs ng abuse. So, I would really suggest, it's not bad to think in advance.
Actually, taboo na topic yun kasi sabing grabe ka naman mag-isip. Pero come to think of it, you prepare for your death by buying life insurance or a memorial plan, diba? So, you have to be prepared for any eventuality in life. Hindi lang naman din kasi yan nag-iwanan kayo dahil abusive. What if one of you goes ahead of the other one, diba? May mamatay. Dapat ready ka talaga palagi. So, it should not be a taboo topic. We should normalize exit plans and contracts like that.
Kasi yung nung gumagawa ko ng exit plan, meron akong kababata na lawyer. So, I asked him, ano bang gagawin ko? Sabi nung friend ko, ito yung mga ayokong conversation with you eh. Ayokong mangyari sa'yo yung mga dinideal kong clients na, yun nga, yung mga naghihiwalay ganyan. No, but I want to know. Sabi niya, okay, sige. How? Ganto. Start computing your monthly expenses. How much do you need in a month to survive with the 2 kids? And how much is yung ininvest mo sa business? Let's run the numbers. Laging may numbers. So, ang pangit pakinggan, no? Pero, exit plan.
Ganun practical.
Yeah, practical eh.
Parang yung pagkamatay mo, ang pangit niya pakinggan, pero kailangan paghanda. May kabaong ka na ba? May memorial lot ka na ba?
Even death, di ba? Ayaw
para hindi kawawa yung mga naiiwan.
Yeah, oo.
And to add to that, ito so kanina, paano mo malalaman if you should speak up? Ito guys, medyo sensitive topic to, but kailangan pag-usapan kasi pinag-uusapan natin dito.
Lahat ng bawal pag-usapan.
Yes. So guys, ito, kung feeling mo, gusto mo nang umalis because sobra na yung abuse and toxicity, hindi mo alam saan magsisimula, here are some practical steps. Number 1, document everything. Keep screenshots, messages, journals, anything that shows the patterns of toxic and abusive behavior. Hindi ito para sa chismis or marites, hindi mo to send kahit kanino. Hindi mo to ipopost sa Facebook, guys. Huwag kayong nagpo-post sa Facebook. Para to sa safety mo, kasi pwede yan gamitin as evidence in the future. And para rin sa'yo na nare-remind ka na these are the things, I'm not making things up, lalo na pag nag-gaslight ka masyado. Number 2, from what she said, kung meron ka ng sarili mong pera, open a separate bank account. Kahit maliit lang, kahit GCash lang yan, start building your emergency fund. Like she said, 6 months emergency funds. Kahit patingi-tingi, then wag mong sasabihin sa kanya yung separate bank account mo. Number 3, create a small go bag. What's a go bag? Andyan na lahat ng kailangan mo na isang kuhanan mo lang para pag manganganak ka, di ba? Andyan na lahat ng damit, ng items. Ano yung laman ng go bag? IDs, important documents, some cash, medications, damit, just in case na nag-escalate yung abuse and you just really need to leave. Kasi there are times na, yun na yung part na yun, gusto ko na umalis. Wag mo nang, di ba, yung in the moment ka na. Pero sana naman wag mangyari sa inyo. Number 4, very important, have a safe person. Kaibigan, kapatid, coach, yung alam mo mapagkakatiwalaan mo, someone you can call when things go south or kapag ka masyado ka nang hindi ka na palabas ng bahay or sinasaktan ka na, may safe person ka lagi nasa emergency contacts mo yan. Look for free or low-cost help. Mga support groups, women centers, online communities, even VAUSI help desk sa barangay. Pwede ka lumapit dyan and ask about abuse. And ito, very important, sinabi to sa akin ng IPV coach ko, don't announce your exit. Prepare in silence, move smart, not loud. Pag nalaman nila yung plan mo, lalo ka nilang gagawa ng paraan na makontrol ka nila, pag guilty ka nila at huwag kang paalisin. And ito, very simple but very difficult for some. Practice saying no, kahit maliit na bagay. That's you starting to build your self-trust and boundaries.
So let's recap. So number 1, document everything. Number 2, open a separate bank account. Number 3, create a small go bag. Number 4, have a safe person. Someone you can trust na nasa speed dial. Number 5, look for free or low-cost help like VAUSI, barangay, whatever. And number 6, don't announce your exit. And number 7, simple pero mahirap, pero you have to practice saying no. Tama ba lahat?
Tama. So guys, yun yung kung gusto mo nang umalis. And I know it takes courage. You can reach out to us. I can refer you to someone who can help you with that kasi hindi talaga siya madali. You really need to strategize and plan it out. Hindi siya basta-basta, lalo na if you have kids. Ngayon, what if, Saraya, hindi ko pa kaya umalis? Then make it your mission to redirect your energy back to yourself. What do I mean? Hindi mo kailangan mag-revolusyon agad. Minsan, yung unang step is simpleng pagtigil sa pag-explain ng sarili mo. Be silent, just say no, don't explain, then choose your peace over people-pleasing.
Hey, okay, so kung mabigat ang episode na to para sa inyo, if you can relate, feel free to comment sa Spotify, sa YouTube channel namin. Pwede kayong mag-open up doon, no judgment. Or you can send us a message.
Yeah, so we're here to support you. So Cheryl and I really created this podcast to be a safe space for women. So, yung mga pagod na manahimik, ganun. Or palagi nagko-question sa sarili, tama ba itong nararamdaman ko? Message lang kayo sa amin.
Yeah, at i-share mo tong episode na to, baka may friend ka nakaka-relate, diba?
Tama. So, tag your friend.
Yeah, tag
in our Facebook page. Or kung ayaw mo silang itag, message mo lang sila, uy, pakinggan mo tong episode na to para sa'yo to.
Correct. So, yun. So, nakahinga ba ang lahat? So, yeah, thank you so much sa mga insights mo sa Shadow Work Coach. And until the next episode, thank you mga kakuda.
Bye!